The key in the attic. In a quiet, dusty attic, hidden among old trunks and forgotten keepsakes, there lay a small, ornate key. For years it had gone unnoticed, until one rainy evening, when Margaret, a woman in her 50s, decided to clear out her childhood home. As she sifted through faded letters and broken toys, she found the key. It was beautifully crafted, with delicate engravings of vines and stars. Attached to it was a faded tag that simply read, "For when you're ready." Margaret frowned. She didn't remember this key. Curious, she held it in her hand and felt a strange warmth, as though the key had been waiting for her. She searched the attic for a lock, but there was none. Frustrated but intrigued, she slipped the key into her pocket and returned to her daily life. Yet the key seemed to tug at her thoughts. She began to dream of doors, some familiar, some strange, each calling her name. One evening, after yet another restless dream, Margaret decided to walk through the neighborhood, letting her feet guide her. As she passed the park where she'd played as a child, she noticed an old, overgrown garden she hadn't seen in years. In its center stood a gate, rusted and covered in ivy. Her heart raced. She reached for the key. It fit perfectly. The gate creaked open, revealing a hidden path lined with wildflowers and twinkling lights. Margaret stepped inside, and the air seemed to shimmer. The path led her to a small wooden door, painted a soft blue. When she unlocked it, memories flooded back. Of her childhood dreams, her lost passions, and the fearless spirit she once had. The room inside wasn't just a place. It was a piece of her heart she'd forgotten. It was filled with sketches she'd drawn as a teenager, unfinished poems, and plans for adventures she'd never taken. Tears filled her eyes as she realized this hidden space had been waiting for her all along. The next morning, Margaret returned home with a newfound energy. She dusted off her old sketchbooks, wrote letters to friends she'd lost touch with, and began planning a trip she'd dreamed of for decades. The key now hung on a chain around her neck, a reminder that some doors are worth unlocking, no matter how long they've been closed.